generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel, Dyad in the Rough. Today we are talking about something pretty interesting. It has to do with Pixar. So if you are not too familiar, Pixar has a new movie out, Inside Out 2. We will have our movie discussion out tomorrow about that movie. But with this movie being very popular lately, there was actually a question asked to the chief executive over at Pixar. And that question was, will we ever see live action Pixar films? Because if you haven't noticed, Disney has been taking a lot of their classic movies, the animated ones, and then creating live action films out of them. And a lot of people argue that's just double dipping on their success, and I would agree. But what's interesting about it is I think it started off hot and then it's kind of tailed off a little bit. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at maybe why Pixar wouldn't want to do that. Why wouldn't they want to do live action films of what, they have put together? And so we're going to take a look at some of the sales numbers here. Okay, so let's start looking at some of these Disney remakes that have been coming out. So, like we said, we had the success of the animated films, but then Disney went and made live action versions of them. We got, let's see, I think Alice in Wonderland is kind of where it kicked off. Yeah. So the majority of these kicked off right around Alice in Wonderland, and then we kind of moved forward from there, getting some of these other live action adaptions. And if we look, so the first number is what it made in US and Canada, the second number is other territories, and then we got worldwide. And then we also got the budget over here on the far right. So if we look at Alice in Wonderland, did very well, over $1 billion on a $200 million budget. That was pretty solid. Maleficent we got, it didn't do as well, but it also had a lower budget. So, things happened there. And if we look through here, so we were at a high point here. We're going to skip Sorcerer's Apprentice because that's not a remake of, something in the past. Not that I'm aware of. And then, so we went from 1 billion to 75 to 500, just under 550 million. Then there was a spike. It went up to almost $1 billion again with the Jungle Book. Then it crashed with the Alice Through the Looking Glass. Beauty and the Beast, major hit. And then, let's see, Dumbo did not do well at all. Aladdin and Lion King did pretty well. But then these other four, so the sequel to Maleficent, just under $500 million. Mulan, those numbers are not accurate. They're missing some, so we can't really go by that one. Cruella didn't even crack 300 million. That's really bad considering the $100 million budget. And The Little Mermaid, even though it got over $500 million, still not very good considering the budget of the film. And so what's happening here is I think the quote unquote golden age of the live action film adaptions is pretty much over. We kind of peaked right around Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King, and then since then it has not been good. And so I think, well, after The Little Mermaid and right around the Cruella time as well, they started releasing these live actions to Disney Plus like directly. They didn't even go to movie theaters. So like the Pinocchio movie, and there's another, oh, the Peter Pan movie that came. I haven't even watched the Peter Pan movie. But I know the Pinocchio one, it wasn't my favorite either. But there's definitely an issue going on with the reception, of these live action adaptions of the cartoons essentially. So why would you not want to do it for Pixar? Well, I think it's kind of like if you got something good going, you don't want to potentially ruin or taint it. Because, like, if Pixar starts doing these live action remakes, it might make people feel like, oh, they're out of ideas. We don't even want to see their new projects, you know? So I kind of think that's kind of what's going on here. And let's be honest. Pixar is doing well on its own. Pixar doesn't need live action remakes. I mean, yeah, we're getting tons of sequels and in the form of like Toy Story, Cars, we got a whole bunch of sequels. Um, I mean, we're getting a sequel with Inside Out as well, but there's also a good handful of original ones coming out as of late too. I mean, we had Luca, we can see down here, we got Soul. Onward was a really good one. I really enjoyed Onward. But yeah, there's so much success that Pixar already creates within itself. There's no need to branch out to the live actions. So I think they're doing good by not doing that. And so we just gotta, hope for the future that Disney doesn't rely on, oh, we really need money and we know these stories are amazing. So we're gonna dip into, or basically punk out and do these live action remakes of some of our amazing Pixar films. I think that would be very, very bad. There's only a couple that I really think could be successful. I mean, let's think about it. If we were to do a Finding Nemo or Finding Dory live action remake, look at what happened with The Little Mermaid. The animals in that movie just really did not click with people. They didn't click with us. They didn't click with audiences. They looked really weird. Now, if we think about like Toy Story, we have tons of the toys, right? And so what would that be? Like a stop motion animated film almost? Because like live action would mean like the toys essentially, or people dressing up, I suppose. But it just doesn't seem like it would be a really good idea to do something like that. I think really the only one, maybe two, that could be good for this is The Incredibles or Soul, because a lot of the other ones that like it would maybe Coco too. That could be a good one uh, for live action. But like if you put A Bug's Life up there, which is one that's dear to my heart from my childhood, I feel like they would just mess it up. So. But that's just my opinion. Let's see what your opinion is. Drop it in the comments below. Drop us a like if you liked the video. And if you enjoyed this type of video and want to see more, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.